Welcome back to Bible Journaling 66. Today, we're in chapter 6 of Daniel. I'd like to point out that you can pause the video to read the entire verse and study as we go. Darius the Mede has conquered Babylon, and he chose 120 princes to rule over the kingdom. Many of them, I believe, were former rulers in Babylon. As Darius begins to restructure the kingdom, Daniel, who is approximately 80 years of age, is made a prominent leader. The jealousy and hatred were present in the Babylonian kingdom, and the overseers and satraps are still trying to get rid of Daniel in the new regime. They decide to weaponize Daniel's faith in God and use it against him. By playing on Darius's vanity, they propose a new ruling that for the next 30 days, no man would be allowed to make any request of any god but Darius himself, and that anyone who breaks this decree would be cast into the lion's den. According to the laws of the Medes and the Persians, once a decree is put in writing and signed, even the king himself could not rescind it. Daniel knew about the decree, making prayer, whether public or private, illegal. But he would not let the laws of men interfere with his relationship with his God. The trap was set, and they didn't have to wait long to catch Daniel breaking the king's new decree. They went straight to the king and reminded him of the decree that he had signed. Then they sprung their trap, telling Darius that Daniel was still praying to his God 3 times a day. Now verse 14 tells us that the king was very unhappy. I think it's because he realized he had been played, and trying as he may, he couldn't get Daniel out of this mess. The satraps reminded the king that no one can change a law after he signs it. Verse 16 tells us that as Daniel was about to be cast into the lion's den, the king spoke to him and said, "Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee." A strange comment for an unbeliever, you would think. Daniel was then cast into the lion's den and sealed inside. The king fasted all night, not allowing any music for entertainment, and he couldn't sleep. At first light, the king ran to the lion's den and called out to Daniel to see if God had truly saved him. To his surprise, Daniel answers and tells him that an angel has been sent to shut the lions' mouths and that he was not hurt. The king had Daniel removed from the den and verified that there was not even a scratch. Note the words at the end of this verse. Because he believed in his God. Some might suggest that the lions weren't hungry. But in verse 24, we see that the king commanded that those who accused Daniel be cast into the lion's den with their families, and the lions devoured them all. Then Darius went as far as to write his entire kingdom that they must worship the God of Daniel, whose kingdom will last forever. The word worship here could be translated fear. Fear the God of Daniel. I also wonder if Darius believed in the God of Daniel based on the very last words of this verse 26. And his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. Darius goes on to say that Jehovah God delivers and rescues, and that he shows signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, having delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. The last verse tells us Daniel prospered during the reigns of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. It's important to note that Darius ruled the Babylonian province while Cyrus the Persian ruled the entire Medo-Persian Empire. Making prayer illegal is happening today in many parts of the world. A Christian woman was arrested in England for silently praying across the street from an abortion clinic. Bible reading in schools and prayer, even the Ten Commandments, have been banned in this country as well. We are allowing Satan to have his influence in this country and in the world, and we must not let them cause us to abandon our faith in the one true God, the God of the Bible. The end of chapter 6 concludes the historical section of the book of Daniel. From this point forward, the book becomes prophecies and visions that were given directly to Daniel about future events. I want to thank you for joining us, and especially if you stayed all the way to the end. We really appreciate it. I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe to our channel, as this would greatly help us with the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to share this with your friends.